Hi, everybody. It is Leo Brown. Back on here for something that I haven't done in a long time, and that is a psychic's perspective video. First of all, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys like my content thus far. I'm really trying to be consistent, and I'm trying to do this more often. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. So today we're going to do a reading on Kevin Samuels. Now, for those of you who don't know who Kevin Samuels is, how would I describe him? I guess to me, I describe him as like a relationship coach, but with a very blunt nature, a very kind of like, think of like Dr. Phil or like Steve Harvey, but like if Steve Harvey and Dr. Phil were, and I'm just gonna say it, if Steve Harvey and Dr. Phil were drag queens, okay, and what I mean by that is Kevin Samuels can read down. Kevin Samuels can read the house down boots. We know that. My thoughts on him before I start the reading are: I think that he has found his niche. He's found what has worked and what works, and obviously there's something about him that people like, that people gravitate to. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Do I think that he could be nicer? Yes. Do I think he could be more uplifting to especially Black women? Yes. Uh, do I think he could be more uplifting? Period. Yeah, I do. Um, but I don't think that he's a bad person per se. I think his intentions are good, but I also think he knows. I also think he's a hustler personally. That's just my personal opinion, and that has something to do with the reading that I'm about to do. So I decided to give Mr. Samuels a reading. Mr. Samuels, if you're watching, and I hope you are, I hope you enjoy what I'm about to say to you, and I hope that it's clear, it's concise, and that it makes sense to you. This is a reading for you. For those of you who are watching and you like what I have to say, please leave your comments below. If you like your own personal reading, you can log into my website, psychicleo.com, and all my socials and stuff are down below. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before I do the reading, I want to say to my ancestors, my spirit guides, thank you for not only for allowing me to have this gift, for allowing me to live this life, for allowing me just to be and to be myself, and allowing me to have the freedom to be who I am in every sense of the word and in every sense of the way. Um, I ask that this reading for Mr. Samuels be clear, concise, and most of all, truthful, that it makes sense for him and maybe the people that are watching this in this moment. So I thank the ancestors, spirit guides, protectors for allowing me to do what I am doing in this moment, in this time, and in this space. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say for Mr. Samuels. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. This is interesting. I'm going to go with this one first. And this is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands in reverse. So, what this is telling me is that even though right now Mr. Samuels is a hot topic, there was a point in time where he wasn't a hot topic, where he didn't know. I really get somebody who battles or battled poverty consciousness, like a poverty way of thinking. I get money issues around him. I get bad business deals. Like 3, 4 years ago, I get the numbers 3 and 4 around him. I feel like there's a lot that he's not there's a lot that he's not showing people. You know what I mean? Like in regards to his past. There's a lot that we don't know. I think a lot is going to come forward. But from what I'm seeing, this has not been an easy ride for him. Like where he's at now, which I think is why he's so full throttle and he just says exactly what's on his mind. But I also get someone who hustles, who has hustled, who I literally get silver tongue. I literally get a lot of manipulation. I literally get a lot of dare I'm just gonna say it. I get somebody that at one point really like could sell ice cream to an Eskimo, and very much kind of like a con man in a way. And I'm not saying that you are a con man, Mr. Samuels, that's not what I'm saying. But I get that you've had to do some things that when you look back at it, you're not proud of it. Which leads me to the card in the middle. So this card is the Hermit. So the Hermit basically is about going within, divine counsel, divine guidance, spiritualities, spiritual awakening, things like that. But also, it's also about not showing every card in your hand. And with you, Mr. Samuels, what I'm picking up is that mouth, that um, vitriol or venom sometimes that you spew out, that's not really you. You're a lot more sensitive than you let on. Um, I feel like women are really important to you. I get a grandmotherly figure around you. I feel like there's a woman around you that either raised you or she was very instrumental in like very influential or instrumental in your life. And whomever she is, I don't know if she is I don't know if she's still with us, but for me, I feel like if she is, she's sick because I'm seeing a woman around me literally in like a hospital bed or like a bed at home, and it reminds me of like an old school grandmother that like everything was about church, everything was about that Sunday meal, things like that, and whoever this was, she taught you your values. And I feel like deep down, despite what you give to the world, you really there's a side of you that is really sensitive. There's a side of you that is really vulnerable. There's a side of you that you don't show people. And I get a side of you that doesn't trust. You don't trust you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions often. Especially when it comes to, once again, it kind of goes back into money. And a lot of it also is you've had a lot of people in your life tell you one thing but then do another, but you've done that too. So I feel like I get a lot of betrayal. I get a lot of being stabbed in the back. I get a lot of, like I said, bad contracts. I get a lot of bad jobs. I get literally like a lot of bad relationships. I get just a lot of, yeah. And I feel like there's a lot more to you than what we see, than the suits and the mouth and all that. Like there's so much more. I feel like you're really, I literally get either at one point you thought about being a minister or you're thinking about it. Like there's something about you that wants to do greater work than what you're doing. And you're really more sensitive than you let on. Because I pick up a lot of tears. I feel like you cry a lot. um, you, believe it or not, you act like you have a heart of stone, but you really don't. A lot of the things you say, I won't say you regret them, but you rethink them. You do rethink it, like maybe I shouldn't have said that in that way or whatever. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Which leads me to this card, which is the Five of Wands. So this is where the problem is. So what this is telling me is that you don't the one issue that I'm seeing that you don't do, that you really need to take heed in, is that you don't think before you act. You just do it. And here's the thing, that's not a bad thing sometimes. But in this case, I feel like this is more about the things you say. And not only the things you say, but how you say it. Um, and I don't know why. And it's kind of going back to what I was saying a few minutes ago about like your childhood and stuff and who raised you. I feel like you were around a lot of volatile surroundings. I literally get like alcoholism or addiction. There's something going on, like either around you at one point in time or within you. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot that you're hiding, that you're not telling people. And what I'm getting now is that, and I get, yeah, I want to say within 3 to 6 months, if you're really not, actually, let me go back. I would say within maybe a year or so, if you're not careful with the things you say, you may end up canceling yourself because I'm literally hearing you say, just how can I put it? It's awful, but it's not what you're saying, it's the way you're saying it that is going to be really detrimental to you and to your brand. And right now you're kind of riding a wave, which is good, but and like I said, I don't knock anybody's hustle, but or anybody's way of making money. But what I'm getting around you is that you really have to have more of a plan. You can't just because you want to say something doesn't mean you should say it. And for some reason, what I'm getting around you is I just see you really like, and not just with the things you say, but even when it comes to your business, even with you expanding, because I do see in the next year or two you expanding and doing more with your business. I see workshops, I see seminars, I see all these different things, but I see it being an issue. I see that because you're going to be more. It's like you're more involved with the look of it and not the business. You see, so you might want to get your business affairs in order, or if that's not the case, get people around you that really understand. All right, Mr. Samuels, if this is what we're gonna do this right, okay? Because I feel like that may become a problem. So, all right, so the other card that I pulled is the World in reverse. So what this is telling me is that even though you're having all this stuff and you're kind of riding a wave right now and you're on the blogs and people are really looking at you, you really are not attached. See, once again, this is telling me you're not really attached to this. This is a means to an end for you. This isn't it. Okay, how do I put this? This is not your calling. This is a way to get your name out there. This is things that you want to say. This is more, and I also get around you too, like this in a way is like therapy for you. Because another thing I'm picking up is either, and I want to say two, I get two women around you. I get one woman who is like she's thick, she's a medium complexion, and she's very sweet, but she has mouth. And then I get another one who is very much about her money. She's not as thick as the other one, but she's like in the middle. And I want to say she's a darker complexion. And excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. And what I'm picking up around me is I feel like these two women really did to you. They really did damage because I'm picking up that a lot of what you're doing is by you coming out and saying what you're saying and how you're saying, this is healing for you. This is therapy. You're just making money from it. And for some reason, I feel like there's a part of you that's actually kind of wounded, that's, dare I say, kind of bitter when it comes to relationships. Because it feels like to me, you don't want to attach yourself to anything that doesn't, how can I put it? That you don't want to attach yourself to anything that allows you to get emotionally attached. Uh, and I feel like part of you, I get that one of the reasons why you're so um, blunt is because there's a lot of pain here. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of anger. And forgive me because I probably sound like I'm repeating myself, but that's what I'm picking up around you. And I feel like right now you really are not as invested in your brand as you claim to be. This is just, it's almost like, oh, I didn't realize that people were listening to me. It's like that, you know. But what I'm getting is that if you, to wrap this all up, I don't want to, sound like I'm just rambling. But what I'm picking up is if you think before you act and you exercise patience and you allow compassion to steep in and you don't do things just because it looks good and you tell the truth, not only to the people that you talk to, but even to yourself, because I'm even picking up around you for some reason. Well, yeah, I am getting this. I feel like not, how do I say it? Not sexuality, but I feel like you're a lot more adventurous when it comes to sex and, things of that nature. You're a lot more open than you claim to be. Um, but there's a lot that you're not showing. And I'm not saying now, before people go in, I'm not saying that I think Mr. Samuels plays for a different team. I don't know. I'm not in his bedroom. But what I am picking up for you, Mr. Samuels, is I feel like there's a lot more of you that you're not showing and sharing, and not just with the world, but even with yourself. So I feel like there's some things going on. There's some emotional conflicts here, and it's not just about that, but it's a lot of different things. Um, but from what I'm picking up, if you think before you act, if you analyze things but you don't overanalyze it, and if you lead with compassion and patience, you'll go really far for real. And more importantly, if you're just honest, tell your story, tell your truth. Don't just sit up here and just spew your stuff and to people, because obviously there's an audience for what you do. But from what I'm picking up, don't just spew it just because you can. Tell your story. Go back. Because I feel like what's going on too is that you have to look at how far you've come, not just where you are now. So that's my sixth sense on Mr. Kevin Samuels. Mr. Samuels, if you ever see this video, and I really sincerely hope you do, I hope it makes sense. I hope that it was clear and concise. I really do. I really wish you the best in whatever you're doing. I think that what you're trying to do, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with the way you do it, but hey, you do you, honey. So that's all I had to say. I want to know now from you all, what do you think of Kevin Samuels and his message and his works? Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. I do read them, and I will talk with you guys very, very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.